Alright, here's another video for 2HT and 2VT about paragraph 8.4. I'm going to be explaining something and then I'm going to be talking about exercise 35. Paragraph 8.4 is called areas and enlargements. So now we're going to be talking about an enlargement. So this is an enlargement of that. And we're going to be talking about the scale factor. But now we're also going to be talking about the area. Now if you take a look at these two rectangles, this length is 2 and this length is 4. This length is 3 and this length is 6. So figuring out what the scale factor is not so hard. The scale factor is 2, because this is twice as big and this is twice as big. If you think about the area, like how many times as big is the area now, if you also think that's 2, that would be wrong. The area actually is more than 2 times as big. In this small rectangle, the area is 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. In the bigger one, 4 times 6 is 24. So we see that the area is actually not 2 times as big. No, the area is 4 times as big. And that makes sense, because if I draw this smaller rectangle in the bigger one, like over here, right, you can see that if I draw that, it fits in it not 2 times, but 4 times. It fits in it twice in the width, and also it fits in it twice in the length. So 2 times 2 is actually 4. So if you want to calculate the area of the enlargement, you don't use the scale factor. No, you actually use the scale factor squared, because now we talk about 2 dimensions. And if you talk about 2 dimensions, then you have to do the scale factor to the power of 2. So you can already guess what happens if we talk about volumes, because a volume is 3-dimensional, so then you have to do the scale factor to the power of 3. But that's actually the next paragraph, so I'll make a different video about that. Now I'd like to talk about exercise 35. In your book, you can find it on page 170. It's also over here. It says, look at these 2 dinosaur stickers on the right. Dinosaur 2 is an enlargement of dinosaur 1, right? It's a tiny bit bigger there, but also if it's smaller, it could be called an enlargement. The area for dinosaur 1 is 0.92 square centimeters. So luckily for us, we don't have to calculate the area of this dinosaur. Calculate the area for dinosaur number 2, round off to 2 decimal places. Alright, so what we need to do here is, first I'm going to move the book a little bit, because I think the lighting was a bit annoying. Alright, that's a bit better. First we need to figure out what the scale factor is if you go from here to there. So you need to find something that you can easily measure in both of these dinosaurs. So for this one, I think it's a bit hard to figure something out that we can easily measure. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to measure like the back of the head here, and then I'm going to measure the tip of this tail. I think that's easy to measure. You can also measure the length between the hand and the foot, or like the whole, like the height of this dinosaur from here to there, or you can measure just anything you want as long as you measure the same thing in both of these dinosaurs. So let's do that. I said I'm going to be using like the back of the head, like over here, and also the tip of this tail here. Then I'm already not happy with my selection, but alright. Here I got that this is 1.8 centimeters, 1.8 centimeters long. Could you see that here? 1.8. And then I'm going to be measuring the same length over here. And then it's not 1.8, but it's 2.7. So I have 1.8 and 2.7. Now if you're a tiny bit off, if you have a different length, you have something completely different. But if you had 1.7 here or 1.9, I mean on a test, I would not say it's wrong, because you can be off a little bit. Right? It's the calculation that's important and not the actual answer. Alright, so here we have 1.8 and 2.7. So I'm going to be calculating the scale factor now first. So I'm going to write down the scale factor. Scale factor equals, so you have to do the length in the enlargement. So this length divided by that length. If you still remember what I said, one length is 2.7, the other one is 1.8. And I'm actually quite lucky now with my numbers, because this is exactly 1.5. So that's nice. Now we know that the area for dinosaur 1 is 0.92 square centimeters. We know this because the question says that it is. And we need to calculate the area for dinosaur 2. Area 2. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to take this area and we're going to multiply it with the scale factor. But because the area is 2-dimensional, we're going to be doing the scale factor squared, just like we saw over here. Right? So 0.92, let's calculate that. 0.92 Oh, I messed up. I'll try again. 0.92 times 1.5 to the power of 2. I get 2.07. And please don't forget to write down the measurements, so squared centimeters. So this is how exercise 35 works. And exercise 36 actually is very similar, so I'm not going to be making a video about that. I will send you the answers about it later. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.